At the beginning of the drama, we see the female lead, Dingxian, and today is her first day at the university. When she starts to go into the boys' hostel with her luggage, the warden there stops her and says, "This is a boys' hostel, so you can't go inside." But Dingxian tries very hard to get inside and says, "I'll be back in just 5 minutes." But the warden says, "If you don't leave from here, I will call security and have you thrown out." Hearing this, Dingxian stands outside and starts shouting her friend Siyue's name loudly. "Come out!" Seeing this, all the students gather there and start making a video of her. Just then, this video reaches the drama's male lead, Siyue, who, after seeing it, comes running to Dingxian. Then, they both start looking at each other as if they have met after years. And then Siyue takes her away from there and sits down, where Dingxian confesses her feelings to him, saying, "I like you, and have you ever liked me too?" Siyue tells her, "Whatever was between us ended years ago, and now our lives are very different, and I don't want to be in a relationship with anyone right now." Saying this, he starts to leave, but Dingxian stops him and says, "We made a promise, didn't we? That we would both come to this university together, and look, I fulfilled my promise. So I want to know, did you ever love me?" Hearing this, Siyue doesn't give her any answer and starts to go to his boys' hostel. Just then, Dingxian stops him and gives him a robot from her bag, which Siyue takes and leaves without saying anything. And as soon as he leaves, Dingxian stands there and starts crying a lot. After this, we see Siyue in his room, looking at the robot, where he finds a small note inside it, and then he starts remembering his old things. After which, we see a scene from the past where, in the year 2009, Dingxian is moving to a new house with her family. And then, after putting all the things in the house, Dingxian's whole family goes to the house of a friend of Dingxian's dad, who lives near them and because of whom Dingxian's dad has also got a new job. After this, these people meet each other, and then we find out that this is none other than Siyue's house, where Siyue's two friends, Songzi and Jiang Chen, are also present. And they also have lunch with these people. After this, Dingxian's mom says to Siyue, "You have grown up so much, and do you remember that you and Dingxian used to play together in childhood? And now look, you both are in high school together. Time, right? How quickly it passes." Hearing this, Siyue's mom asks about Dingxian's score. So we come to know that Dingxian's marks are slightly higher than Siyue's. That's why Dingxian's mom starts praising her daughter a lot and says, "Siyue, son, if you ever need help in studies, you can take Dingxian's help." After this, in the course of conversation, she also says, "We had fixed both of your engagements in childhood." After this, Siyue says, "If I have to break this engagement, what can I do?" Hearing this, everyone starts looking at him, so he says, laughing, "Oh, I was just kidding." And then he gets up from the dining table and leaves. A little later, Dingxian takes her younger brother to the washroom, but because the tissue paper is finished inside the washroom, she's about to go to Siyue's room to ask him for it when she stands outside and overhears their conversation, because when Dingxian was coming here, her head had hit the wall, which caused a bump on her head. That's why Siyue's friends make fun of her, saying, "Your fiancé has horns." And then they call her Little Monster. But as soon as they realize that Dingxian is standing outside and listening to all this, they tell Siyue, "Handle the situation." After this, Siyue comes out and gives her toilet paper and says, "Don't mind my friend's words, they were just kidding." After this, Dingxian says to him, "Do you want to break our childhood engagement?" So Siyue says yes, but Dingxian refuses and leaves from there. The next day, Siyue has brought his friend Songzi to the doctor because he has an injury on his leg. Just then, Dingxian goes there to get medicine for the injury on her head, where the doctor tells her a higher price, but she has less money. That's why Siyue goes there and buys that medicine for her. And then he takes her to a small restaurant with him, where he orders something for her to eat. And when she starts eating, Siyue also orders a cake for her and says, "This is for the injury on your head, which is slowly turning into a horn." Hearing this, Dingxian gets angry, puts the money there, and leaves from there. The next morning, when Dingxian is getting ready to go to school, she can't find her name badge anywhere because her naughty younger brother has hidden it. After this, due to being late, Dingxian starts running towards the school, and on the way, she meets Siyue because he is also late today. But Dingxian, upon seeing him, hides her face and runs away from there. And upon reaching school, we see that both of them have to stand on the side for being late. After this, when Dingxian goes and sits in the classroom, Siyue comes and sits next to her, seeing which she gets angry. So Siyue says, "Don't be angry. There is no other seat vacant in the class, so I sat here." In the meantime, we come to know that Dingxian's father is also a teacher at the same school. After this, when the class teacher comes there, he starts giving them instructions, of which Dingxian starts making notes. Seeing this, Siyue tells her, there is no point in making notes of such meaningless things. Just then, their teacher tells them, "From now on, whichever child does not wear their name badge will have to go back home." And because Dingxian is not wearing her name badge, everyone starts looking at her. Because of this, Dingxian feels very bad. After this, during lunchtime, Siyue's friend Song Zi and the girl sitting at his desk, Sha Di, ask everyone, including Dingxian, to have lunch with them. But just as Dingxian is going to have lunch with them, Dingxian's dad is coming from behind Siyue, seeing whom she leaves from there and starts having lunch alone. Seeing this, everyone thinks that Dingxian is not having lunch with them because of Siyue. After this, Dingxian is having lunch alone when a boy named Su Bo comes to her. Actually, he is from Dingxian's hometown, and they have known each other since childhood. After this, Su Bo tells her, "Make friends with everyone so that your school life will be good." After this, when the class starts, their teacher in the classroom asks Dingxian to solve a question, but she is not able to solve that question. That's why the teacher asks Siyue for the answer, who very easily tells the answer. Seeing this, we come to know that Siyue is very brilliant in studies. After this, Dingxian is making math notes when Siyue tells her, "There's no point in making such long math notes because in math, you only need to remember the formula." So Dingxian says to him, "Your grades are even lower than mine, so who are you to judge me?" Hearing this, all the students in the class start laughing, so Dingxian gets very confused as to why these people are laughing. Just then, a girl named Jia Yu comes to her and says, "You came in the middle of the year, so maybe you don't know that Si Wei is the class topper. And because in this exam he was preparing for a robotic competition, he didn't take the exam seriously, which is why he got low marks. Otherwise, he consistently earns high scores in math." After this, Jia Yu tells Dingxian, "Get up from Siyue's desk because I need to understand a topic from Siyue." After this, Dingxian gets up from there and leaves, and also gets very upset, which Subo sees and asks her, "What happened to you?" But Dingxian doesn't give him a proper answer to this, so Subo takes her to the rooftop and says, "This is my secret place," and then asks her, "Now can you tell me what happened to you?" So Dingxian says to him, "I am having a lot of difficulty making friends in my class because I feel like I don't fit in with those people at all." After this, Subo explains to her, "You shouldn't think like that at all. Don't lose hope. With time, all problems will be solved, and you will see, you will get very good friends too." Dingxian feels a little better after talking to Subo, and then she goes to her classroom where she sees that Jia Yu is still sitting at her desk with Siyue. So she tells Jia Yu to sit there and starts to exchange her seat with her. Now, when she is leaving with her things, Siyue tries to stop her, but when Dingxian doesn't agree, he tells her, "If you are leaving from here, don't come back." But Dingxian doesn't listen to him and exchanges the seat. In the next scene, Dingxian comes to her house, and when she goes to her room, she sees that her younger brother is burning her diary. Seeing this, she starts scolding him, and her brother hides behind his mom to save himself. And when Dingxian tells her mom, "He burned my diary," her mom says, "Your brother is still young, so he doesn't know what he should do and what he shouldn't do. But you are older, right? So you should control your anger." After this, she says, "My grades are so good, yet you always scold me, and you don't scold him at all. He doesn't study well at all. Now I have started to feel that you differentiate between a boy and a girl." After this, her mom scolds her and says, "You can't talk to me like this because you don't know how much I take care of your needs." Now, seeing the argument between these two escalating, her dad stops them both and gives Dingxian her name badge, which her brother had hidden. After this, she takes her name badge and goes back to her room and starts studying. On the other side, Siyue is also studying in his room when his mom goes and gives him a box, saying, "I have made golden cakes, so give this to Dingxian from my side. And since you both are in the same class, you should take care of her." For which Siyue agrees. The next morning when Dingxian is having breakfast, her brother, on their mom's advice, apologizes to her. So she also forgives him and says, "Don't touch my things from now on." After which she goes to school where we see that her desk mate Hixing is very irritable, and he is always busy with his studies and doesn't talk to anyone at all. And when Dingxian tries to ask him something, he scolds her and says, "Can't you be quiet? You are really very annoying." Hearing this, Dingxian becomes very sad. Just then, the boy sitting at the other desk asks her, "Are you and Siyue close? Because he has put something in your desk." Hearing this, as soon as Dingxian looks, there is a box of golden cakes inside her desk, which she returns to Siyue. But Siyue tells her, "My mom sent this for you." But still, Dingxian refuses to take it. So Jia Yu, who is sitting at Siyue's desk, takes that box and says, "I like this very much." After this, Dingxian goes back and sits in her seat and starts sharpening her pencil. But Hixing again starts telling her, "Go and do all this somewhere else." So she goes to the back and starts sharpening the pencil, which seeing, Songzi says to his deskmate Siyue, "From now on, Dingxian's bad time has started because now she will have to bear Hixing's annoying actions again and again. And this is because you and I have always been rivals of Hixing in studies, and he is very annoyed by the fact that he can never get ahead of you in studies. And he also knows that Dingxian is your dad's friend's daughter." In the next scene, when Dingxian goes to the staff office to print something, she sees a diary on her dad's desk, which he had bought for her because her old diary had burned. Seeing this, she realizes that her dad takes great care of her, and because it is also Teacher's Day today, she also gives her dad a small gift. The next day in school, the teacher has some work, so he makes Jia the class leader and tells her, "Take care of the class," and also says, "Whichever child talks, you note down their name." After this, when the teacher leaves the class, Dingxian quietly starts asking a boy for notes. So Hixing says, "These two are talking to each other." So Jia writes both of their names on the board. When the teacher returns to the class, he scolds them both. But just then, Siyue takes Songzi's name and says he was also talking in the classroom. Seeing this, Songzi also takes Siyue's and the other children's names. These people were also talking. So the teacher starts scolding all of them and tells them to clean up after school as a punishment. Actually, Siyue had done all this deliberately so that Dingxian would not be scolded alone. After this, at night, Dingxian's dad brings a lot of snacks to her, which he gives her to eat. And in the course of conversation, he tells her, "You should also share these snacks with your classmates so that you can make friends with them." But Dingxian is still very hesitant to make friends with them. That's why the next morning her dad goes to Siyue and says to him, "You and Dingxian should go to school together, and please take care of her inside the classroom too, because she has a new admission, so she is very nervous." After this, Siyue agrees to his words and goes to school with Dingxian. And after going to school, Dingxian meets Subo and tells him that she is having a lot of trouble making friends with her classmates. So Subo tells her, "When I was also new, I also had a lot of trouble like this, but slowly I made very good friends. And you will see, one day you will also make everyone your friend. But for that, you will have to take the initiative. And I am sure that no one will refuse to be friends with you because you are very nice." Hearing this, Dingxian considers his words and makes friends with Songzi's deskmate, Shadi. Seeing them together, Songzi starts teasing them, so Dingxian gets angry. So Siyue asks his friend Songzi to apologize to her, and when he apologizes, she forgives him. After this, she is going to the ground when a boy comes there who is playing basketball, but by mistake, he throws the basketball towards Dingxian, which is about to hit her, but Siyue goes and saves her. And later, Dingxian, seeing Siyue so close to her, gets shy and runs away from there. After this, Dingxian, following her dad's advice, distributes chocolates with her classmates. And in the meantime, we see that Subo has explained to her, "You should try to connect with everyone step by step, which will make you very good friends." That's why she also gives a chocolate to Siyue. Seeing which Jia says to her, "Don't eat this. I will get you a better chocolate than this." But Siyue doesn't listen to her and eats the chocolate, which makes Dingxian feel very good. After this, the next day is a school holiday. So Dingxian is sitting at home watching TV when her mom comes and says to her, "Your brother has been at the game center for a long time and has not come back yet, so you go and bring him home." And then when Dingxian goes to the game center, she also sees Siyue and other people from school there, where Shadi says to her, "I was about to call you, but I didn't have your number so I couldn't call you." Just then, Jia tells her, "On Monday we will exchange seats because Siyue told me that your foundation is not good at all, so he will help you with your homework." And she also says, "From today, I am also your friend." Hearing this, Dingxian becomes happy that slowly everyone is becoming her friend. After this, all of them start playing games, where they also ask Dingxian to play, but she refuses because she has to dance in that game. But after a lot of forcing from everyone, she agrees and plays so well that she defeats Songzi, which even Siyue is very surprised to see. But poor Songzi can't bear the pain of defeat at all, so he asks Dingxian to play again, but she refuses. After this, the three girls start playing toy collecting games where Songzi comes and asks Siyue to compete with Dingxian, but Siyue refuses. So Dingxian says, "Are you scared?" Hearing this, Siyue starts playing and defeats Dingxian. So Dingxian gets very embarrassed and takes her brother from there in anger. After this, when Dingxian is having dinner at her home, she asks her mom to get her a phone, but her mom refuses, which makes her very sad. The next day when Dingxian goes to school, Shadi gives her a toy that Dingxian had liked at the game center. So she says thank you to her. So Shadi tells her, "Don't thank me. It wasn't me, but Siyue, who picked this for you." Hearing this, Dingxian goes to Siyue and asks him, "Why did you buy this for me?" So he says, "Those two girls also had one toy each, only you didn't have one, so I also bought one for you. But if you don't want it, I'll take it back." Saying this, he snatches the toy from her, but because Dingxian likes that toy a lot, she starts to take it, where these two come very close to each other, and when they realize it, they become normal again. And then Si Yue gives her the toy and says, "Here, I don't want this ugly dinosaur." So Dingxian says, "This is not a dinosaur but an alligator." So these two start arguing about this. After this, Si Yue shows her what is written on the tag. "Look, this is a baby dinosaur." So Dingxian says, "Because I first saw it as an alligator, and now I am its owner, so from now on, I will call it an alligator." Hearing this, Si Yue also starts laughing. After this, Si Yue, looking at her test paper, says, "I don't know how you got admission in our school because you're very bad at math." So Dingxian tells him about Su Bo. "He has always encouraged me for everything, and because of his encouragement, I was able to pass in math." Hearing this, Si Yue gets a little jealous and then starts teaching her, but his words go over Dingxian's head. So Si Yue tells her another way to make notes and tells her to remember only the important things. The next day, when these two are going to school together, due to being late for school, Si Yue tells her, "Walk a little faster." So Dingxian says to him, "My bag is very heavy, so I can't walk fast." So Si Yue grabs her bag from behind so that she can walk faster, which makes Dingxian feel very good. After reaching school, the teacher tells everyone in the classroom, "Today, along with the class leader, the activity leader is also going to be selected." So Dingxian is about to stand up for painting when Jia Yu stands up, and the teacher selects her. Because Jia Yu already knows that Dingxian is very good at drawing, she asks for her help in designing for the board. After this, Dingxian is standing on the table and painting on the board when she is suddenly about to fall, and Si Yue goes and saves her. But still, chalk gets on Dingxian's face, seeing which everyone starts laughing, and Dingxian starts getting angry at Si Yue. "This all happened because of you. If you had come and saved me earlier, none of this would have happened." And then they both start fighting. So Song Zi and Shadi say, "You two look like a cute couple while fighting." So both of them angrily say, "Shut up," to both of them at the same time and leave from there. After this, Dingxian is studying in her house, so her father comes and asks her, "Your mom was telling me that you were asking her for a phone. If you need it very much, then son, you can take my phone." So Dingxian says, "No, Dad, it's not that necessary." After this, her dad looks at her notes and says, "Your writing has become very good." So she says, "This is not my writing, but Si Yue's writing. He has given me his notes to study." Hearing this, her dad gets very happy and says, "Truly, Si Yue is a very good boy." After this, in the course of conversation, he says, "I only asked him once to take care of you, and he is so good that he agreed to my words in one go." Hearing this, Dingxian feels very bad that Si Yue is taking so much care of her only because her dad told him to. Now, the poor girl gets very emotional because she had really started considering Si Yue as her friend, and until now, she thought that Si Yue also considered her as his friend, and that's why he helps her. But here the whole story has turned around. The next day, Dingxian goes to school alone, and when Si Yue runs after her to school, she ignores him and starts to leave. Just then, two boys are fooling around with each other, and by mistake, their cold drink falls on Dingxian's uniform, and her uniform gets spoiled. So she gets embarrassed in front of everyone. So those two boys say sorry to her and leave from there. But just then, Si Yue comes there with his jacket and wearing it asks her, "Why are you ignoring me?" So Dingxian says to him, "Because I have found out that you were helping me only because my dad told you to, not that you consider me your friend. So now I am telling you that if you don't want to help me, then don't. There is no compulsion." Hearing this, Si Yue starts laughing and says to her, "There is another reason for helping you, which you probably don't remember." Just then, in a flashback, we come to know that when Si Yue had gone to his hometown in his childhood, one day he had gone to Dingxian's house to stay, and then they both had also shared a room. After this, at night, Si Yue asks Dingxian to go to the toilet with him, but she is very sleepy so she refuses to go. And then the next morning she sees that Si Yue has peed on her bed. That's why he requests Dingxian, "Please don't tell anyone about this, and when we meet next time, I will take you out for a stroll." And this is the reason why Si Yue had taken Dingxian out that day. After this, in the present, Dingxian is laughing a lot hearing this and says, "You still remember this incident? I have forgotten it long ago." After this, Si Yue says to her, "We will go for a stroll on Saturday," to which Dingxian also agrees. And then on Saturday, Dingxian hides from her family and goes out with Si Yue, where Si Yue starts telling her very interesting things about the whole city. So she says, "You are very excellent. You have a lot of knowledge about everything." After this, these two are talking when Su Bo comes there. So Dingxian immediately gets up and goes to him and starts talking to him, which makes Si Yue very jealous. And he starts stuffing his face with food, which makes his face look very funny. And when Dingxian comes back, she sees that Si Yue has eaten all the food, so she starts laughing at him because he is looking really funny. After this, Si Yue takes her to see a movie where they both watch the Hollywood movie 2012. After this, when they are coming back home, Siyue says to her, I have fulfilled my promise, but now the final exams are coming, so maybe you will need me again. But Dingxian refuses. I will not need you. And saying this, she starts walking forward, but just then, she sees her class teacher there, after which both of them hide in a place to escape. Because the teacher had seen her, he runs towards them, but just then, he gets a call from someone, so he stands there and starts talking. And poor Siyue and Dingxian have to hide there for a long time. And in the meantime, it also starts raining there, so Siyue covers Dingxian with his jacket, where Dingxian feels very good being so close to Siyue, where we come to know that she has probably started to feel something for Siyue. In the next scene, both of them are waiting for the bus at the bus stop when Dingxian tells him about Huaking University. I want to go here. So Siyue also says, I also want to go here. This is a coincidence because both of our dreams are the same. Hearing which, Dingxian gets very happy and says, you will pass this test easily, but it is very difficult for me to get admission there. So Siyue will pass this test easily, but it is very difficult for me to get admission there. So Siyue motivates her, saying, you will also definitely pass this test. The next day, when Dingxian goes to school, we see that she has made cards for all her friends to give on New Year's. But just then, she learns from Shadi that Siyue doesn't like to celebrate festivals at all, so she doesn't give him the card. But when Siyue sees the card, he says, I have noticed that you have made cards for everyone for the new year, but you haven't given one to me. So she says, but you don't like to celebrate festivals. So Siyue says, you are right, but I can take the card, can I? Hearing this, Dingxian gets very happy, but just then, the teacher sees them talking. So she makes them stand outside as a punishment, where Dingxian gives him the card she had prepared herself. But Siyue starts teasing her, yuck, it's so badly made. So Dingxian gets angry and starts snatching her card from him. So he says, hey, I was just kidding. Why do you get so angry so quickly? After this, when they both go inside the class, the teacher tells them, this time in the test, except for Siyue, all of you have got very low marks. And if you keep giving such bad results, I will soon have you exchange desks. Hearing this, Dingxian gets very sad because now she doesn't want to exchange her desk with Siyue at all. So she decides that now she will work very hard in her studies. After this, when Dingxian goes to her house, her whole family is going to see the fireworks in the city. Just then, her dad comes to her to call her too, but he sees that Dingxian has fallen asleep while studying. So he doesn't bother her and leaves. On the other side, we see Siyue and other people who are out enjoying the new year in the city. But Siyue is not feeling good at all without Dingxian, so he stands there sadly. So Songzi goes to him and says, oh, so you are missing that little monster? So Siyue makes an excuse and says, yes man, it's better when there are more people. And anyway, if Dingxian comes here, she can give Shadi company and hang up with her because if you stay with me, Shadi will get bored alone. Hearing this, Songzi understands that he is just making an excuse. In reality, he is missing her. So they all decide that they will all go together to call Dingxian to her house. After this, when all of them go to Dingxian's house to call her, she gets very happy to see them outside her house and goes out with them to see the fireworks. But due to heavy traffic on the way, they get stuck in traffic. But if they kept waiting like this, they would not have been able to see the fireworks. So Siyue gets them all out of the car and starts taking them to a place by running so that they don't miss the fireworks. After that, as soon as it strikes 12, the fireworks start, and they reach a bridge and start enjoying the fireworks. After this, holding each other's hands, everyone starts shouting Happy New Year! And because Siyue has held Dingxian's hand, she gets very happy. After this, when Dingxian goes to her house, she writes everything in her diary and also writes, I have heard that people who celebrate New Year together always stay with each other. I hope this thing never turns out to be a lie. In the next scene, Dingxian does not go to school because she is not well. So Siyue comes to give her the notes of what was taught in school today and also gives her her test report card, in which she has not got good marks this time either. So she starts getting very worried. So Siyue tries to motivate her. After this, she tells Siyue, I am going to my hometown for this festival. Hearing this, Siyue gets a little worried. So he writes his phone number on a paper and says, if you need anything there, you can call me. After this, when Siyue goes to his house, he says to his mom, do you know that Dingxian is going back to her hometown? His mom already knows this, so Siyue directly asks her, do you have Dingxian's hometown number? Because she doesn't have a phone, so a telephone number will be needed to talk to her. Hearing this, his mom stares at him and says, by the way, you don't talk to anyone much. So what do you have to talk to Dingxian about that you need her phone number? But he lies. Shadi needs this phone number and I am asking you for the number for her. Saying this, he leaves from there. But his mom starts smiling seeing all this and understands that he himself is asking for Dingxian's mobile number because he is going to miss her after she leaves. In the next scene, we see that Dingxian has reached her hometown and is doing festival decorations with Subo, where she is talking about Siyue. So Subo asks her, "Why do you always talk to me about your desk mate? Do you like him?" So Dingxian refuses him and says, "We are just classmates." Hearing this, Subo starts smiling and says, "I know you two are just classmates. I was just kidding." After that, Dingxian is sitting in front of the telephone with Siyue's phone number because she wanted to wish him for the festival first, where she sits and thinks whether she should call or not. And on the other side, Siyue is also thinking about calling her, so he calls first. So Dingxian immediately picks up the phone, and then they both wish each other for the festival. And then Siyue tells her, "You will be my desk mate in the next semester too." Hearing this, she gets very happy. In the meantime, we see Subo, who is coming to wish Dingxian for the festival, but seeing her talking on the phone with Siyue, he leaves from there. In the next scene, Dingxian is back and calls Siyue to meet at a restaurant where she says, "Today is my birthday." Hearing this, Siyue is a little surprised. "Why didn't you tell me earlier?" After this, he asks her, "What gift do you want?" But she refuses the gift. And then, Siyue takes her to a planetarium to make her happy, where he goes and shows her how the nebulae stars would look on her birthday. Seeing this, she gets very happy, and then they both enjoy a lot together. After this, when she goes to school, Shadi gives her a birthday gift, which is very expensive, so Dingxian refuses to take it. But after much request from Shadi, she takes it. In the next scene, Shadi and Dingxian are both together in the classroom when a girl named KK goes and gives Dingxian a letter and tells her to give it to Siyue, and leaves from there. Seeing this, Shadi gets very angry, so she tears up that letter and throws it away and says, "You confess your feelings to Siyue. Otherwise, if this continues, many girls will hover around him." Hearing this, Dingxian shouts at her a lot. "What nonsense are you talking about? I don't like him at all. What are you saying all this nonsense about me?" Because of this, Shadi also gets angry at her. "First, I am helping you, and on the other hand, you are saying all this to me." After this, they both have an argument, and both get angry with each other. After this, Dingxian keeps that torn letter with her. After this, when Siyue and Songzi come to the class, they see them not talking to each other and start asking, "What happened?" But neither of them tells them anything. And then after school is over, when Dingxian and Siyue are going back home, Dingxian says, "From now on, we will not go to and from school together because it is creating a lot of misunderstandings in the school, which I don't like at all." After this, going home, she writes that letter on another paper in her handwriting, and the next day, going to school, she puts it under Siyue's desk. And when he sees that letter, he feels that Dingxian has given it because it has her handwriting. Seeing this, he starts smiling. After this, when it's lunchtime, Shadi ignores Dingxian and goes to have lunch with another girl. Seeing this, Dingxian feels very bad. After this, when school is over, KK again comes and gives Dingxian a jar of chocolates, saying, "Please give this to Siyue." And the poor girl can't say no to her this time either and starts thinking, "Now I will have to do this again." After this, at night we see Siyue, who is very happy reading that letter because he thinks that Dingxian has written this letter to him. So the next morning he takes a gift for her, and as soon as he opens his desk, there is a jar of chocolates under it. Seeing which, he starts looking at Dingxian. Then she's about to tell him, but before she can tell, Shadi says, "The letter was not written by Dingxian for you but by another classmate, KK, and she has also given this chocolate jar for you." Hearing this, Siyue gets very angry and takes Dingxian outside the classroom to talk, and scolds her, "From next time, don't deliver anyone's message to me because I don't like all this at all." Saying this, he leaves from there, and poor Dingxian stands there crying and gets very upset. And going home, she writes in her diary, "How cowardly I am, because I can't say no to anyone." In the next scene, we see that today is Siyue's birthday, and he has sent invitation cards to everyone. But when he is about to cut the cake, he notices that Dingxian has not come yet, so he waits for her for a long time. On the other side, when Dingxian is making her painting, she notices that Siyue's birthday invitation card is on her table, so she immediately runs towards his house. And here, after waiting for a long time, Siyue starts the party, and by the time Dingxian reaches there, everyone has left. Just then, Siyue comes from behind her, seeing whom she says sorry. And then, Siyue asks her, "What are you apologizing to me for? For being late to my birthday, or for delivering another girl's letter to me?" So she says, "I am saying sorry to you for both things." After this, we see that Siyue has saved a small piece of cake, and he puts a candle on it and celebrates his birthday again with Dingxian. And then, Dingxian gives him a painting made by herself, which he gets very happy to see. And he also gives her a mobile phone, which Dingxian refuses to take because it is a very expensive gift. So Siyue tells her, I won this in a concert, and now I don't want to be disconnected from you at all, so you keep this phone with you, and when your parents get you a new phone, you can return it to me. So Dingxian agrees to take the phone. The next day, when Dingxian is sleeping in her room, her dad comes to wake her up. Just then, a beep is heard on her mobile, which is a message Siyue has sent her. I am waiting for you downstairs. Dingxian's dad asks her, what sound was that just now? So she lies. It was the sound of the alarm. After this, she quickly gets ready and goes downstairs, and then they both go to school together, where the teacher scolds everyone. You people are not studying properly at all. You have no idea how precious this time is for you, because after the semester, you have to decide whether you are going to take arts or science. After this, the teacher calls Siyue out to talk, where he tells him about participating in a math competition and says, I have sent your name for the competition. And we notice that Hixing is also secretly listening to this. After this, in class, Dingxian accidentally drops Shadi's diary, and it falls and gets damaged. So Songzi tells her that this diary is Shadi's favorite diary. Just then, Shadi comes there and finds out that her favorite diary has been damaged because of Dingxian. So she gets angry and leaves from there. After which, Dingxian also goes after her to console her, and in the washroom, Shadi gets very angry at her and starts crying. After this, Dingxian also starts crying, and then she also says sorry to Shadi for that day, after which both of them get emotional and start crying. After which, they both become friends again, and seeing them both together, Songzi and Siyue also get very happy. After this, they are all having lunch and discussing at the table whether they will take math or science, when KK also comes with her lunchbox and sits with them. Seeing her, Songzi gestures to Shadi and asks, is this the same girl who gave Siyue the letter? So Shadi kicks him from below and tells him to be quiet. And in the meantime, Siyue finds out that this is the same girl who had sent a letter for me. So KK says, don't worry, I won't pursue you at all. And anyway, I find Dingxian more interesting than you, so now I will only be friends with her. And anyway, I didn't give you a love confession letter. I just wanted to be friends with you, so I sent you a letter. Because if I had asked you to be friends directly, the class would have laughed at me. Hearing this, Siyue and Songzi get up and leave from there, and Shadi says to her, Dingxian is only my friend, and she will not be anyone's friend. So Dingxian requests Shadi, please let me talk to KK once, so she agrees. After this, when Dingxian meets KK alone, KK first says sorry to her and says, in the beginning, I used you to become Siyue's friend because I always have all male friends, so I have never made friends with girls. But when I met you, I found out that you are a very interesting person and Siyue is very boring, so I would never want to be his friend. Hearing this, Dingxian smiles and defends Siyue, saying, please don't say that. Siyue is a very interesting person. So KK says, I have nothing to do with him anymore. I just know that you are my best friend, that's it. Hearing this, Dingxian also agrees to become her friend. In the next scene, when Dingxian goes to her house, she tells her mom that she wants to take the science stream. So her mom directly refuses her and says, this is not something girls can do. Hearing this, she starts arguing with her mom and says, girls can also study science and I can make my own decisions because now I am grown up. So her mom says, don't talk too much. I am doing all this for your own good because if you take arts, your dad will also be able to help you in your studies, and you will get good marks which will get you admission in a good university for graduation. Hearing this, Dingxian gets up from there and goes to her room, and is chatting with her friends on her phone when her dad comes to her and gives her a phone, saying, you wanted a phone, right, son? Here you go. So Dingxian gets very upset, so she tells her dad about the phone given by Siyue. So her dad says, I had already seen this phone, and now that you have a new phone, you should return this to Siyue. After this, she asks her father for his opinion about choosing science and arts. So he says, I also agree with your mom's point. So she says, I am not angry that you don't consider me capable of studying science, but I am angry that you don't let me make my own decisions. So her dad says, okay, whatever decision you make, I will support you. So she gets happy. The next day, Dingxian finishes her work in the Chinese subject period and starts studying science. Then her teacher sees her doing this and says, why are you studying science in my period? So Dingxian tells her, I have already finished my work. After this, the teacher takes her to her office where she asks her, are you going to choose the science stream in the future? So she says yes. Hearing her answer, the teacher says to her class teacher, sir, a girl from your class wants to study science. So her class teacher tells her to think about it again. Just then, Hixing comes there and says to the teacher, I also want to participate in the math competition. At first, the teacher tries to explain to him, but when he doesn't agree, he also gives him the form. After this, Dingxian goes to the classroom and tells all these things to Si Yue and asks him, "Do you also think that I should not study science?" So he says, "Whatever decision you make, I will support you." After this, Dingxian says, "I will choose science only because I want to prove that girls can also study science." After this, she returns his phone and tells him, "My dad has got me a new phone." Hearing this, Si Yue gets very happy. After that, Dingxian decides to create a different look, so she says to her friend Shadi, "Take me to a hairstylist. I want to change my hairstyle." So Shadi says, "I know how to cut hair very well, so don't worry. I will do your hairstyle." After this, she goes to Dingxian's house and is about to cut her hair, but Dingxian is very scared, so she refuses. But Shadi forcibly cuts her hair. And after this, when Dingxian looks in the mirror, she feels very bad because Shadi has not cut her hair well at all, which makes Dingxian look very funny. After this, they both go to play billiards with Si Yue and Songzi, where she keeps her hair hidden with her hoodie cap. So Si Yue removes her cap and says, "You had such nice hair, so why did you get it cut? You shouldn't have done that." But later he says, "Now what's done is done. But you look very cute in this hairstyle too." Hearing this, Dingxian smiles. After this, Si Yue starts teaching her how to play billiards, where Dingxian feels very good being so close to Si Yue. And after being taught once, she plays very well, seeing which Songzi praises her a lot. On the other side, Dingxian's mom finds out from her class teacher that she has chosen the science stream, so her mom gets very angry at her. So when Dingxian reaches her home, her mom is very angry and gets even angrier seeing her hair and asks, "Who gave you permission to cut them?" So Dingxian says, "Can I not even cut my hair of my own free will now?" Just then, her dad says to her mom, "You should respect Dingxian's decision." But hearing this, her mom starts scolding her dad instead. After this, she cries and says to Dingxian, "You have grown up now, so what need do you have for me?" Saying this, she cries and goes to her room. After this, Dingxian requests her dad, "Please talk to mom. I have to choose science because I don't want to be separated from my friends." So her dad says to her, "I will give you a month's time, and if you get good marks in this monthly test, then maybe your problem can be solved." Hearing which, Dingxian starts thinking, "Now I will work twice as hard, but I will get good marks in the monthly test." The next day, their class teacher tells them that everyone has chosen their stream, but they still have a month's time. He says, if anyone feels that they want to change their stream, they can change it in a month. So Dingxian is also sitting and thinking, "This time I have to work very hard and get very good marks so that I can prove to my mom that I, being a girl, can also study science." After this, she meets her dad outside her class, where he tells her that her mom has set a condition for choosing science. He says, "If you get 270 marks in this monthly test, only then can you take science." Hearing this, she gets very worried about how she will get so many marks. After this, going to the class, she asks Si Yue, "Is there any way I can get 270 marks in science in a month?" So Si Yue tells her, "Solve as many tests as you can, otherwise you won't even get 250 marks. After this, at the dinner time, Dingxian's mom is not talking to her properly, so she thanks her for making such good food. And then when she is studying in her room, her mom brings milk for her and says, "If you get even 1 mark less than 270, you will have to obey me." Now here, her mom, despite being angry with her, has brought milk for her, so she thanks her mom. The next day, she is sitting on the school roof with Subo and telling him everything. So Subo motivates her and says, "I am sure you will manage all this." Now, because Subo's high school is complete, he is now leaving the school. So he takes a selfie with Dingxian, and when she is leaving, Subo clicks a photo of her and gives it to her as a gift. After this, Dingxian comes to the class and shows that photo to everyone, which Si Yue doesn't like at all. So he tells her to focus on her studies and says, "I have made notes for you, so now you just study well." Hearing this, Dingxian thanks him and says, "You always keep helping me, so you should also focus on your competition now." After this, Si Yue gets angry and says, "Okay, I will not help you from now on." Saying this, he gets up and leaves from there. The next day, when Dingxian is waiting for him outside his house, Si Yue's mom comes and tells her that Si Yue has gone to a training camp for the competition. So now Dingxian has to go to school alone, and now she feels his absence in his absence, so she gets a little upset. But then she starts working very hard on her studies. On the other side, Shadi is getting very jealous seeing Songzi with another girl. Just then, KK comes there and says, "If you become friends with me, I can give you an idea by which Songzi will be only yours." Hearing this, Shadi quickly becomes friends with her. After this, when Dingxian sees these two sitting together, she also gets happy that now Shadi is also KK's friend, so now Shadi will not be angry with me for being friends with KK. After this, KK advises Shadi, If you want to make Songzi jealous, either you hang out with another boy or you invite everyone in the class to your birthday except Songzi. After this, Shadi finds the second idea quite good. So the next day, she invites everyone in the class for her birthday, and Songzi keeps waiting for his invitation. But Shadi does not invite the poor guy, because of which Songzi gets a little confused and jealous too. Then the next day, Shadi goes to celebrate her birthday, but Songzi has still not come to her birthday, so she understands that her plan has failed. So she gets sad and cancels her birthday party. After this, everyone is sitting in the mall when Songzi comes there, seeing whom Shadi gets very happy. After this, Songzi says, "It's your birthday and I don't come, how can that be?" And then he starts taking her to celebrate her birthday. But because Dingxian has to study for the test, she starts going back home. In the meantime, when she goes to buy a water bottle, someone steals her phone from her bag. So Dingxian also runs after him, which Jiang Chen sees. And because Siyue has told him to take care of Dingxian, he immediately informs Siyue about this, because of which Siyue runs away from his campus. And then we see that Dingxian, while chasing that thief, reaches a deserted area where many people surround her. And Jiang Chen tries hard to find Dingxian, but he doesn't find her. Then he calls Songzi and calls him. On the other hand, Dingxian, while running, reaches inside a house and closes the door. But even then, that thief and his friends come and start banging on the door. Seeing all this, Dingxian gets very scared and starts crying. And just then, Siyue reaches there, who starts beating those people up. And in the meantime, Songzi also reaches there, who fights with all of them along with him. After this, Jiang Chen also comes there with more boys, so those thieves get scared and run away from there. And when Dingxian comes out, Siyue starts taking her to drop her home, and Songzi takes all the other people to celebrate Shadi's birthday. And then after reaching home, Dingxian calls Siyue and asks, "Is everything okay?" So he says, "Yes, I am fine, and I am in my training camp." But as soon as they both hang up the phone, we come to know that whoever goes out of the training center will be disqualified from the math competition. So the teacher scolds him a lot, but because he is a promising student of the school, instead of disqualifying him from the competition, the teacher tells him to run 10 laps of the playground as a punishment. And when he runs 10 laps of the ground, he gets very tired. But Siyue had not told Dingxian about this, so that Dingxian could focus well on her studies without getting worried. In the next scene, Dingxian is again talking to Siyue on the phone when her mom comes to her room with fruits for her. So she quickly hides her phone, but her mom sees her phone and says, "Put your full focus on your studies so that your marks are good." Saying this, she takes her phone and leaves from there. On the other side, we see that everyone is celebrating Shadi's birthday when two boys come there who are probably Shadi's old friends. So they join her birthday without an invitation. Not only that, they also ask Shadi to go with them, which makes Songzi very angry, and he scares them and sends them away from there. After this, he says to her, "Am I not enough for you that you need more friends?" Now, seeing Songzi being jealous like this, Shadi feels very good that he is caring for her. In the next scene, Siyue's competition test is being held, and when he comes out after giving his test, he meets the teacher. So he tells them that his test went very well, which makes his teacher happy. But later they ask, "I have received a complaint about you, so tell me where you had gone that day." Hearing this, Siyue runs away from there without giving them an answer. But just then, Heijing comes there, who tells the teacher everything because that night when Jiang Chen had called Siyue, he was also present there and had heard their conversation. In the next scene, Dingxian's monthly result comes, seeing which she gets very happy because she has completed 270 marks. So she immediately goes and tells Siyue this, and he also gets very happy. After this, going home, Dingxian shows her mom her result. So her mom also gets very happy and returns her phone to her. The next day, a volleyball competition is being held in the school, in which Songzi has also written Siyue's name without asking. But Siyue refuses to play because he is very tired and his health is not good at all. But on Songzi's insistence, he gets ready to play, and when he is playing in the competition, he is not able to play well at all due to being tired. But when he notices that Dingxian is there, supporting him with a banner in her hand, he suddenly gets a lot of courage and plays so well that he makes his team win. After this, the next day when he does not come to school, Dingxian starts worrying about him a lot. Just then, the class teacher goes there and says, "Siyue has got the first position in the math competition." Hearing this, everyone starts clapping. Just then, after the teacher leaves, Heijing starts talking a lot of nonsense about Siyue. And when Songzi and other classmates stop him and say, "Why are you so jealous of Siyue?" So he starts telling that Siyue had run away from the campus and, according to the rule, he should have been disqualified for doing so. But that did not happen. Just then, another classmate starts saying, even though Siyue was not disqualified, he was also punished a lot for it. But still, Heijing keeps talking nonsense about him. So Ding Xian gets angry and says to him, "If you have so much problem with this, why don't you go and talk to the teacher directly?" Hearing which, He Jing gets up and leaves from there. After school, Ding Xian goes to Si Wei's house to find out why he didn't come to school today. And even after she calls out his name repeatedly, when no one opens the door, she sees the light in his room on and throws a stone at his window. Then Si Yue opens the door and tells her to come inside, where Ding Xian finds out that Si Yue is sick, so he didn't come to school, and he was sleeping just now, so he couldn't open the door either. Just then, she finds out that Si Yue's mom is also not at home, so she herself makes porridge for him and feeds him with her own hands. After eating which, Si Yue says, "This is very well made." And then she tells him that you have got the first prize in the math competition, but Si Yue is not particularly affected by this. After this, Ding Xian says sorry to him because it was because of her that he ran away from the campus that day, for which the teacher punished him. And seeing his condition, she says, "You look very tired. What will happen if you get depressed one day?" So Si Yue says to her, "If I get depressed, what will you do?" So she says, "I will help you unconditionally and stay with you." Hearing which, Si Yue smiles and says, "Crazy girl, such difficulties will always come in the future, but I will never bother you for all this." The next day, Ding Xian's mom goes to her room to clean, and just then, she reads Ding Xian's diary in which she has written her feelings for Si Yue. Seeing this, her mom gets angry and comes out of the room and scolds her, saying, "At this age, you should focus on your studies, not on all these useless things." So Ding Xian snatches that diary from her mom's hand and throws it out and cries and goes out of the house to find it. And just then, Si Yue is there. He also comes there. Then she tells him, "I had a fight with my mom, because of which I threw my diary out." So Si Yue also helps her find her diary, but they both don't find the diary. Just then, Si Yue remembers that he has just seen a scrap dealer leaving from here, so they start looking for him, but he has also left from here now. And because now Ding Xian could not find her diary, she becomes a little quiet and also very sad. After this, Si Yue says, "If you don't want to go to your house right now, you can come to my house." So she goes to his house, and then they both have breakfast together. Just then, Si Yue says to Ding Xian, "Your mom cares a lot about you. That's why she does this with you." But Ding Xian's mood is still not good, so to cheer her up, he shows her a robot that he had made himself. That robot also dances. Seeing this, Ding Xian gets very happy. After this, Si Yue says to her, "Come on, I'll drop you at your house." So she refuses. "I will stay at your house tonight. I will not go to my house." Hearing which, Si Yue looks at her in surprise and refuses. After this, when Si Yue goes to drop her at her house, Ding Xian's mom is standing outside waiting for her. After this, she says angrily, "Oh, so you have grown up so much that you have started leaving home now?" But Ding Xian doesn't talk to her at all and goes straight to her room. After this, when her mom comes inside, her dad asks them, "What did you say to Ding Xian that she is so angry?" So she says, "I accidentally read her diary." Hearing this, her dad gets very angry and says, "You should not interfere in her personal life like this, so go and apologize to her." But her mom ignores her dad and leaves from there. In the next scene, Ding Xian's younger brother is asking his mom for money, but his mom refuses. So he starts asking Ding Xian for money, but she also scolds him. So her brother gets angry at her and says, "You are very bad because you have never even tried to understand me." Saying this, he goes to his room. The next day, all the friends decide to go to a concert. And when Ding Xian is getting ready, her mom brings a new dress for her as an apology. So she gets very happy. After this, she wears the same dress and goes to the concert. And when she is going inside with Si Yue, she gets injured in her leg. So Si Yue takes her to the side and sits her down and treats her leg injury. Seeing this, Ding Xian starts flying in the sky, thinking, "Wow, this boy is so cute. He takes so much care of me." After this, when they are going back home, Ding Xian hears her brother's voice from somewhere, so all the other people follow that voice and go, where we see that two boys are bullying Ding Xian's brother and asking him for money. But when all these people arrive, they get scared and run away from there. After this, when Si Yue starts taking Ding Xian and her brother home, her brother is not talking to Ding Xian properly. So Si Yue explains to him, "You should not behave like this with your elder sister." So Ding Xian's brother gets angry and leaves from there. After this, Si Yue gives Ding Xian a gift, which is a painting box that he had specially ordered for her from abroad. Seeing this, Ding Xian gets very happy. The next day in school, the teacher says, "There is going to be a painting competition in our school, and whoever wants to participate in this competition can do so." And then going home, Ding Xian talks to her parents about this and asks, "Can I participate in this painting competition?" So her mom says, "Your second semester of school is going on now. which is very important for you, so you should only focus on your studies. And anyway, painting is just your hobby. Hearing such things from her mom, Dingxian doesn't feel good at all, so she gets up and leaves from there. The next day, Dingxian is very worried in school whether she should go to this competition or not. Just then, Siyue forcibly fills her form and submits it, because he knows that Dingxian loves painting very much. After this, the day of the painting competition also comes, where Dingxian's dad takes her mom and her brother out for a stroll to help her, so that Dingxian can secretly go to the painting competition in their absence, and her mom doesn't even know anything about this. But at the last moment, her brother refuses to go with his parents, so they leave him and go from there, which makes Dingxian very worried. Just then, she gets a call from Siyue, so she tells him everything. My brother is at home, so maybe I won't be able to go to the competition now. Then, Siyue sends Shadi and Songzi to her house to help her. They both go to her house and tell her, go to the painting competition, and we will take care of your brother until then. Now these two engage her brother in conversation, and seeing the opportunity, Dingxian goes to the competition with Siyue. After this, Dingxian makes a painting in the competition with the colors given by Siyue. After this, when she reaches her home, she sees that her brother has made the whole house dirty. And not only that, Songzi and Shadi are also very annoyed with him. Now, because it is also time for their parents to come, they all together fix the whole house so that her mom doesn't find out about the truth. In the next scene, we see that Dingxian has come first in the painting competition, so she gets a certificate. Seeing this, her friends are also very happy for her. In this happiness, Dingxian also gives her friends a treat where Zhang Chen tells them all, I want to become a soldier, but my dad doesn't want that. Because of this, I and my dad have had a big fight, and now I will stay with Songzi at his house. Hearing this, Siyue says to him, you wanted to become a soldier since you were 8 years old, and now you should not back down from this. And don't forget at all that we are all with you, and don't worry, I will try my best to explain this to your dad. Hearing this, Zhang Chen gets very motivated. After this, when Siyue is going home with Dingxian, he tells her that actually Zhang Chen's dad is also a soldier, and he doesn't want his son to become a soldier because he thinks that Zhang Chen will not be able to follow the discipline of a soldier. He adds, but he is forgetting that Zhang Chen is his own son, who is very stubborn. So you see, he will become a soldier one day. After this, Dingxian says, I also have a dream that I go to Huaqing University so that I can prove everyone wrong. So Siyue says, I will also help you in this work. After this, Siyue starts helping her a lot in her studies, and when the semester result comes, we see that Dingxian performs very well, which makes all her friends very happy. After this, when Dingxian goes to her house, she is very happy to see Subo in her house, and then she asks her mom, everyone from our school is going to a summer camp, so can I also go? So her mom refuses her. So Subo says to her mom, I am also going to this camp, so don't worry. I will take full care of Dingxian, because of which her mom agrees. After this, when Dingxian goes to the camp with Subo, Siyue gets very jealous seeing them both together. After this, at night, all of them have a lot of fun and dance too. And then we see that Siyue and Dingxian are sitting together where he says to Dingxian, your diary is lost, so I have created a blog website for you where you can write your heart's content, and your privacy will not be compromised either. Knowing this, Dingxian feels very good. In the next scene, Dingxian's mom is going to her hometown because her grandmother's health is very bad. So she leaves Dingxian's responsibility to Siyue's mom. So Siyue's mom also says, don't worry, I will take great care of Dingxian in my house. After this, seeing her parents leaving like this, Dingxian gets a little upset. In the next scene, Dingxian goes shopping for necessary things for Siyue's house, where they are both very happy with each other. And now that they are living in the same house with each other, Dingxian starts getting happy thinking, when I get married to Siyue, I will go shopping with him just like this. After this, when they come home, Siyue's mom is showing Dingxian Siyue's childhood photos, seeing which she starts laughing a lot. And just then, Siyue goes and snatches that photo and says to his mom, Mom, this is wrong. You should not do this. Then they both start laughing while teasing Siyue. The next day, Dingxian is sleeping late, so to wake her up, Siyue turns on the school prayer on his phone, which wakes her up with a start, and she quickly gets ready and goes to school, where Siyue explains to Zhang Chen, how long will you fight with your dad and live in Songzi's house? Now you should go back to your home because your mom was very worried about you, so she also called me. Hearing this, Zhang Chen also gets a little emotional. After this, the teacher comes to the class with a box and says, He Sing's parents have had an accident, so they need money for treatment. So the teacher asks everyone to donate to help his family. After this, Dingxian quickly goes and puts all her pocket money in that box. So Siyue asks her, he is not a good boy at all, yet why did you help him? So she says, if something like this happens to me tomorrow, how good it would be if everyone helps me in the same way. Hearing this, Si Yue also puts all his money in that box. Just then, He Xing comes there, who first thanks them and then says sorry for his actions and leaves from there. In the next scene, Si Yue is teaching Ding Xian when the lights go out, and then Si Yue goes and brings a candle because Ding Xian is very scared of the dark, so Si Yue puts one earphone each in his and her ear and plays music. In this way, they both enjoy this moment. In the next scene, Jiang Chen's dad reaches Song Zi's house and starts humiliating Jiang Chen a lot, because of which a large crowd gathers there, and his friends also come. After this, as soon as Si Yue goes there, he goes to talk to Jiang Chen's dad and says to them, Jiang Chen wants to become a soldier because he respects you a lot and wants to be like you. Hearing this, his dad agrees for him to become a soldier, and because of this, everyone gets very happy. After this, in school, all the friends are discussing which university they want to go to. So Ding Xian says, I want to clear the cutoff of Huaqing University, but its cutoff is very high, and I feel that I will not get admission there. Saying this, she gets a little upset. Then Songzi changes the topic and says, this weekend we will all go to meet Jiang Chen because he is going into the army. After this, they all go to meet Jiang Chen, where Jiang Chen is playing a game with Si Yue, but he leaves him and asks Ding Xian to play with him. And because Ding Xian plays very well and defeats Jiang Chen, he is very surprised, after which Jiang Chen meets all of them and leaves for his training, seeing which everyone gets a little emotional. The next day in school, the teacher asks Si Yue, which university do you want to go to? So he says, I want to go to Huaqing University. Hearing which, his teacher says the national competition is also approaching, so you should prepare well for it, because if you qualify for this competition, you will get direct admission to Huaqing University. In the next scene, when Si Yue is going for the national competition, Ding Xian gives him a gift made with her own hands and also wishes him best of luck, which makes Si Yue happy. The next day, Ding Xian learns that her grandmom has passed away, so she also immediately leaves for her hometown. After this, her dad is very sad there, so Ding Xian explains to him, whatever has happened, we cannot change it, but we can definitely accept it. On the other side, Si Yue notices that nowadays his dad is very sad, so he starts worrying about him. But when he goes to talk to him, his dad doesn't tell him anything. After this, he calls Ding Xian and asks about her family's situation, so she says, everything is fine here now. And then she starts singing the Happy New Year song, which makes Si Yue smile. Just then, fireworks start, and they both start watching the fireworks from their respective windows and wish each other a Happy New Year. In the next scene, Ding Xian is back from her hometown, and when she is in school, the teacher tells everyone that Si Yue has come first in the competition. Hearing this, Si Yue and everyone else get very happy that now Si Yue is eligible to go to Huaqing University. After this, the teacher also announces the final semester results, in which Ding Xian has performed very well and has got very good marks. Hearing this, all her friends jump with joy. In the next scene, Ding Xian is giving the entrance exam for the university when suddenly she gets very nervous in the exam and is not able to give the exam well. After which, she goes to Shadi and cries a lot while drinking and says, I never told you that I like Si Yue, so I want to go to Huaqing University with him, but now my marks will be very low, because of which I will not be able to go to the university with him. Hearing this, Shadi starts to console her. So Ding Xian says, what are you consoling me for? You are also a big fool. I know that you also like Song Zi but are not able to confess your feelings. And then they both hold each other and start crying. After this, they both start going home drunk. So Ding Xian mistakes a trash can for Si Yue and hugs it. Just then, Si Yue and Song Zi also come there, who start taking them both with them. After this, on the way, Ding Xian says to Si Yue, I can't walk with you because you're walking very fast. So he says to her, for now, you are walking faster than me. After this, Ding Xian sits on the road. So Si Yue starts to pick her up and says, we had promised that we would face everything together. So why are you so worried because of a paper? I am with you. You don't need to worry at all. Saying this, he puts her on his back. On the other side, we see Shadi, whom Songzi is forcibly making drink water. After this, Shadi says, we have been together in school since childhood, and now we are going to be apart. So how will you live without me? So he says, all this is fine, but now I won't be able to annoy you, so I am a little sad. And then Shadi cries and says, how foolish you are. Can't you see that I like you? So Songzi also confesses his feelings to her. After that, they both become very happy, and they both decide to be in a long-distance relationship in the future, in which Shadi says to him, you will never ignore my calls and messages, and you will come to meet me once a month. Hearing this, Songzi agrees to all her conditions, and then he kisses her. After this, the result day also comes, and when Ding Xian checks the result, she starts crying because her marks are very low, and now she cannot go to Huaqing University with Si Yue. The next day, her mom tells her to take admission in some other university, but she refuses and says, I want to go to school again for 1 year so that I can improve my result and get admission in Huaqing University itself. After this, when she tells Si Yue about this, he is very surprised, but later Dingxian says, you wait for me at the university, I will come to you very soon. So Si Yue also agrees with her. After this, he tells her, I am going to the university very soon. Hearing which, Dingxian says, I will miss you a lot. So, before leaving, Si Yue gives her a robot made by himself. Seeing which, she smiles. In the next scene, Si Yue goes to the university and meets a professor there, so the professor says, I know you because I and your father are very good friends. After this, in the course of conversation, he says that, actually, your father is accused of leaking a paper, so an investigation is going on against him. Hearing this, Si Yue gets very worried and understands why his dad was so worried. And then he goes to his dad and asks him about this. So his dad says sorry to him because of him, now Si Yue and his mom will also have to face this problem. So Si Yue tells him to stop thinking about all this and says, you are my dad, so I will support you in every problem, and I have full faith in you that you did not leak the paper. On the other side, Dingxian now starts working very hard in her school, and when she is having dinner with her family in the evening, she eats only a little food and immediately goes to her room and starts studying. Seeing which, her mom starts worrying a lot for her because she sits in her room and studies all day long, so she tells her father to talk to her so that she can also take care of her mental health. But her father tells her mom to go and talk to her herself. So her brother says, you two don't fight. Dingxian definitely listens to one boy. If he explains it to her, she will definitely understand. After this, when Dingxian is sitting in her room and studying, Subo is at the door, and Dingxian's brother was talking about this. After this, Dingxian goes out to talk to him, so he says to her, I know that going to school again for 1 year is not an easy thing. So Dingxian says, this is a very small thing because people are living much harder lives than this. There is a girl in my class who has been trying to go to her dream university for the last 3 years, but every year her performance is getting worse. After this, Subo says to her, you don't need to do all this. You can take admission in some other university if you want, and no one will say anything to you. Just then, Dingxian starts crying and says, all this is very difficult for me. Just then, Si Yue also comes there, who has come there to meet Dingxian, and he sees them both talking. After this, Dingxian says to Subo, after all, this was my own decision, so I will not blame anyone for it, and I am doing all this to be with Si Yue. But there is a lot of difference between him and me. He is a very brilliant student, and I am very bad at studies, so sometimes I get scared that in the future, people might not say that Si Yue is so brilliant, then why is he with such a girl? Saying all this, she starts crying a lot. So Subo controls her and says, he will never think like that, and if I were in his place, I would not care about what others say. So whatever you are doing, keep doing it. After this, Si Yue gets very upset seeing all this and leaves from there. When Dingxian is studying in her room, her mom brings milk for her and tells her to sleep early. In the meantime, we see Si Yue, who is standing under Dingxian's house. But then he remembers how she was crying in front of Subo, and he was consoling her, so he leaves from there without meeting her. The next day is Si Yue's first day at his university. Just then, he gets a message from Dingxian, who says to him, congratulations, today is your first day at the university, to which he replies thanks to her. After this, we see that a boy named Dongjung comes to the professor and starts showing him his idea. So the professor tells him, you show this idea in the next election. Saying this, he moves forward. Just then, Si Yue comes to them, but Dongjung stands on the side and is listening to their conversation, and he finds out everything about Si Yue's dad. In the next scene, we see Si Yue giving a speech in his college. Just then, a girl named Lu Fi, sitting there, says, such a handsome boy has come to our class and you'll see, he will be mine. On the other side, Shadi is saying to Dingxian, how busy can Si Yue be that he can't even reply to a single message from you? After this, she advises her, why don't you go to his university on a holiday and surprise him? Agreeing to her, Dingxian goes to his university on a holiday. In the meantime, we see Si Yue, who is going to his class when Luffy meets him on the way, and, introducing herself, starts saying, I want to be friends with you so that you can teach me. But Si Yue refuses her and leaves from there and reaches his robot experiment class, where a professor introduces Si Yue to everyone. And after this, he tells everyone to assign their own work and makes Si Yue the group leader and leaves from there. Just then, Luffy comes there and stands next to Si Yue, and he ignores her and turns on his computer and sees that someone has posted about his father. Seeing which, all the students present there start talking about his father. And besides that, they also say, why did this fraud's son get admission in this university? Actually, all this was done by Dongjing. After this, when Si Yue finds out that he has done all this, he talks to him. So Dongjung says to him, "Never mind, such things happen, but don't do what your father did." Hearing this, Siyue gets very angry and punches him. And then a fight starts between them, where Luffy falls due to being pushed while trying to come between them. And now she also has a slight injury on her leg, so unwillingly, Siyue takes her to the campus clinic, where Ding Xian sees him with Luffy and gets sad thinking that maybe Siyue has moved on. So she leaves from there upset. After that, when she is going back to her home, she cries and texts Siyue, "Now I have to work very hard, so now we will not contact each other." And after this, she goes to her home and writes in her diary, "My decision to spend one more year in school was very bad, because of this, our relationship is no longer strong. But I still can't believe that you moved on in your life so quickly. But I also promised myself today that I will come to your university to study very soon, and you will have to face me." After this, some time passes, and one day Ding Xian is listening to the radio while studying. We have reached December 2012, and if for some reason today is the last day of the world, what do you think will happen today? Hearing this, Ding Xian remembers that when she had come after watching the 2012 movie with Siyue, where Siyue had told her, if the world ends in 2012, then something similar to what was shown in the movie will probably happen. But Ding Xian says, if something like this happens, I want to face all these things by setting off fireworks that day. Just then, fireworks start outside Ding Xian's window. So now she understands by seeing the fireworks that Siyue is doing all this. So she runs downstairs, but there, she only finds his name badge instead of Siyue. And from this, Ding Xian understands that Siyue still loves her. So she says in her mind, "You wait for me at the university. I will definitely come to you one day." And after a lot of hard work, one day, Ding Xian reaches Huaking University. And this is the same scene that was shown to us at the beginning of the drama. That, after so much hard work, Ding Xian has finally taken admission in Huaking University. And when she is trying to enter the boys' hostel, Siyue comes there and, taking her with him, thinks, "The feelings that I had kept in my heart for so many years have suddenly come in front of me, which I don't have the courage to face at all." After this, Siyue takes her to a corner and talks. So Ding Xian says, "I made so many calls and messages to you, but you didn't give me any reply." So Siyue says to her, "I have changed my number." So Ding Xian says to him here, "I like you." So Siyue says to her, "I don't want to be in any relationship right now, and it's quite late now. So you should also go and rest and work hard for the future and never come back to me." Saying this, he starts to leave, but Ding Xian stops him and says, "We had promised to come to Huaking University together, so I fulfilled my promise. I have worked very hard to follow you, so I just want to know, did you ever love me too?" So he says, "What difference does it make now? Our lives have become separate." But when Ding Xian gives him the same robot that Siyue had given her before they parted, Siyue leaves saying, "I am getting late." And then poor Ding Xian sits there and starts crying. In the next scene, we see Siyue in a hospital where he goes to the counter and asks, "Has this bill been paid?" The nurse says no and says, "It would be better if you pay it quickly." Hearing which, Siyue gets a little upset. And then we see in a flashback that when Siyue had come to light fireworks for Ding Xian, he finds out that his dad's health has suddenly deteriorated, so he has to leave from there quickly. And his name badge accidentally falls there. After this, when he is at the university, he thinks to himself, "Now I am not even capable of protecting my family, so how will I protect Ding Xian?" So he decides that from now on, he will stay away from Ding Xian. On the other side, we see Ding Xian in her room where she meets her roommate, who already knows Ding Xian because of today's incident, but she is very nice. After this, they talk about who is going to win today's robotic competition, Siyue or Dongjeng. So Ding Xian says, "I will also go to see this competition." Then we see Siyue in his room, looking at the robot, inside which he finds a paper with Ding Xian's website password written on it. After this, when he reads it, he starts crying. Then we see the robot competition scene where Dongjeng wins the competition. So Siyue's new friend, Yuan Fang, says to him, "If you had worked a little harder, you would have won." But Siyue gets up and leaves from there. After this, Ding Xian goes to Dongjeng so that she can get Siyue's phone number from him. So Dongjeng says to her, "You have come to the wrong person because we are both classmates, but that doesn't mean we are also friends, so I would have his number." Saying this, he leaves from there. After which, Ding Xian is roaming around the campus with her new friends when she sees Siyue with Luffy, where she invites him to dinner, but he refuses her and leaves from there. Now, to know about him, Ding Xian comes to Luffy, but she hands her a paper to join the animation club, and Ding Xian also joins it thinking that maybe she will be able to meet Siyue here. After this, Ding Xian is sitting in her room talking to Sha Di. So Sha Di tells her, "It's been many days since I've been fighting with Song Zi." So she tells her, "Please ask Siyue and tell me where Song Zi is and why he is ignoring me." So Ding Xian says, "Even I don't know if I'll be able to talk to Siyue or not." After this, everyone goes for a party where Dongjung is also present. Then they all play a truth and dare game where the bottle first stops at Dingxian. So Dongjung asks her, "What did you two talk about when Siyue took you away from everyone that day?" But Dingxian lies. "He told me how to come first in the university." Hearing this, Dongjung says to her, "You should obey the rule and tell the truth." But because Dingxian didn't want to tell them the truth, she chooses a dare and says, "Okay, I will sing a song for all of you." Then she goes on stage to sing a song and starts singing very well. At this very moment, Siyue also comes there, who works part-time as a waiter in this restaurant. He gets very emotional watching Dingxian sing and remembering their old days. After this, when Dingxian finishes singing and rejoins everyone, everyone praises her a lot for singing so well. Just then, Dongjung tells everyone to order dessert and to insult Siyue. He calls him there, but Siyue handles this situation very well. Then he goes out and starts cleaning up when Dingxian comes to him and, giving him a drink, asks him, "What happened to you?" So Siyue says, "My dad's health is very bad, so my life is not the same as before, and this is the reason why I am now doing a part-time job. And I told you, didn't I, that my and your lives are different now, so you should now meet new people and explore campus life and not waste your time on me." Saying this, he starts to return the can to her, but Dingxian doesn't take it and says, "A new life doesn't mean you forget the past." So Siyue tells her, "The past is just the past." Saying this, he throws her drink in the trash, which makes Dingxian angry and she leaves from there. But as soon as she leaves, Siyue takes that drink back out of the dustbin. The next day, Siyue goes to the hospital where he sees his mom sitting worried. So he goes to her and gives her his salary. So his mom tells him, "You should have kept some money for yourself too." So he says, "Don't worry, I have a scholarship, and that is enough for me." After this, we see Siyue with his new friend Yuanfang, where Yuanfang shows him photos posted on the internet and says, maybe someone secretly takes photos of Dingxian and uploads them because last year something similar happened to a girl. Hearing which, Siyue goes to the lab and starts making something. At night, we see Dingxian sitting at a place when Siyue comes there. So Dingxian says, "You have gone through so many difficulties in your life, and why didn't you tell me about all this? I know a new life is just an excuse, but you are running away from your problems, and that is why you don't want to accept me." So Siyue tells her, "You probably have some misunderstanding. You mistook our friendship for love." So Dingxian says, "What do you think? That I have liked you for so long just like that? Do you even know that I have asked myself this question many times, whether I really like you or if this is some attraction?" Then she adds, "I realize that if I can say one thing for sure in this world, it is that I love you." After this, she says to him, "You also ask yourself, and you will also realize that you also love me." But Siyue says, "I only consider you my friend." So she says, "You also know what the truth is, and you are deceiving yourself as well as me." Saying this, she leaves from there. After this, when Siyue is going to his room, he remembers what Dingxian had said, "If you ever get depressed, I will help you unconditionally." And then when he reaches his room, he sees Songzi sitting outside the room, seeing whom he gets very surprised. So Songzi says to him, "Can you keep me with you?" After this, we see them talking to each other, where Siyue tells him that he goes to the hospital to see his parents, because of which he often gets late in going to the hostel, and his hostel closes. And now he couldn't stay in the hospital, so he rented this room. After this, Songzi also tells him, "I have had a breakup." So Siyue says to him, "What's the big deal in that? Anyway, you two break up many times and then patch up again." After this, Siyue says to him, "How long will you run from Shadi?" So Songzi says, "As long as you keep running from Dingxian." Hearing this, Siyue gets sad and starts drinking. The next day, Dingxian butters up Yuanfang in the evening and asks for his help, after which she sends him food for Siyue. And when Siyue sees that food, he realizes that Dingxian has sent it, so he quickly comes outside. Seeing which, Dingxian gets happy, but then Siyue catches a boy standing behind a tree and snatches his camera and takes out the card from it, because this is the person who was secretly taking photos of Dingxian and also posting them on the internet. So Siyue threatens that boy and sends him away from there. And then he gives Dingxian an alarm, which is to protect her from harassment, which he had made for her himself. After this, Dingxian asks him about Songzi. Shadi was asking for him, so he gets angry and says, "That boy was taking your photos. You don't care about that at all, and you are still thinking about others." Then he calls a taxi and goes to drop her back to the hostel. And Dingxian says to him in the taxi, "Why don't you tell me the truth?" So Siyue tells her, "I am going abroad to study next year, and you keep making up stories in your mind." Saying this, he drops her off and leaves from there. After this, Siyue is sitting with Songzi and playing a game, where Songzi says to him, "Dingxian has suffered a lot for you, and she has come here only for you. So if you leave her and go abroad, you will regret it a lot later." So Siyue says to him, "I am not capable of being in a relationship right now. So Songzi says, where does the matter of being capable come into this? If you two love each other, what's the problem in being together? So Siyue says to him, how can you say such things to me? You did the same thing with Shadi. So Songzi gets angry and says, don't compare us two, and gets up and leaves from there. The next day, Dingxian Sr. gives her a chip and tells her to give it to Siyue, after which she goes to Siyue and says to him, the excuse you gave me last night, I don't believe it at all, but you understand my point. I am not asking you to date me. I just want to know if you love me or not. I will always be with you no matter what, and that is my promise. In the next scene, we see that interviews are going on in the computing department, which are for admission abroad. So Ding Xian also goes there to give an interview. After this, Si Yue comes to talk to her and says to her, why are you doing all this? So she says, I also want to go abroad with you. So he tells her, this is not going to be that easy. You are already in the comic group, so will you have enough time to do all this? So Ding Xian says, drawing and you are both very important to me, and as long as you are with me, I will not regret any of my decisions. Saying this, she starts to leave. So Si Yue says, you are very stubborn. After this, we see Ding Xian studying for her competition to go abroad at Si Yue's cafe. Just then, Si Yue comes to her and says, you have been preparing for the test for 2 days, and if you are not able to do all this, then don't do it. So she says, I will handle all this, you don't need to worry. So Si Yue leaves from there. Now, even though it's very late, Ding Xian still hasn't gone home and is still sitting and studying. So Si Yue finishes his shift and comes to her and says, come, I will drop you at the hostel. Hearing this, Ding Xian gets happy and goes with him. The next day, Si Yue sends some notes to Ding Xian through Yuanfang, seeing which she gets very happy, and with the help of his notes, she starts preparing very well. After this, her competition exam goes very well, and when her result comes, Si Yue is the first one to come to the board to see her result, where he also sees her drawing, which makes him very happy. But just then, he sees Ding Xian coming towards the result board, so he leaves from there without seeing the result. After this, when Ding Xian sees her result, she finds out that she has passed the test, so she gets very happy. On the other side, the professor tells Si Yue that Ding Xian has passed the test, and seeing her result, I am very impressed because her way of finding the solution is exactly like yours. So Si Yue tells him, sir, you should not be surprised at all because Ding Xian is also a very good and brilliant student. Just then, Ding Xian also comes there, so the professor says to her, I have seen your test paper, and your result is very good, but now the assessment papers are also coming, so you should also focus on them. Saying this, he leaves from there. So Ding Xian says to Si Yue, now I am one step closer to going abroad with you. So he says, solving the assessment is going to be even more difficult, and if you fail in it, you won't be able to get into the research group either, so all this is going to be very difficult for you. After this, he asks her, you have absolutely no interest in all this, so why are you doing all this? So she says, I can do anything for you. Saying this, she leaves from there. The next day, the professor brings all those children to the research group office who have passed the test, and Ding Xian is also among them, seeing which she gets very happy because now she will be able to stay with Si Yue every day. In this way, now Ding Xian goes to the research group office every day, but she also has to go to the comic club along with this, so she has a lot of trouble doing both these things at the same time, but still she works very hard without making excuses. The next day, the professor gives her an assessment to solve and says, if you solve this, you will become a permanent member of the research group. So she tries her best to solve the assessment. On the other side, we see Si Yue talking to the professor, where he says to the professor, you are being unfair to Ding Xian because you have given her a final year assessment to solve instead of a first year one, which will be very difficult for her. After this, when Ding Xian is solving the assessment, Si Yue also comes to help her, and at first he says to her, you don't need to do all this because you should do what you like. So Ding Xian looks at him lovingly and says, I am doing what I like. After this, when he is leaving from there, he notices that the lab's light has gone out, seeing which he gets very worried about Ding Xian because she is very scared of the dark. So he runs to the lab and starts calling out to Ding Xian, but then Ding Xian comes to him and scares him from behind, because of which they both fall on top of each other. And just then, the light also comes back on. The next day, when Ding Xian shows the assessment solution to the professor is very impressed with her. After this, Ding Xian goes to Si Yue's seat and puts a box of chocolates there as a thank you. And Dongjung also sees her doing this and, instigating her, says, what all do you do for Siyue, but he doesn't care about you at all? Because I have heard with my own ears that he was talking to the professor that Ding Xian is not capable of this research group at all. So you should think about it again. Hearing this, Ding Xian retorts to him and leaves. But later, thinking about all this, she gets very upset. And on the other side, when Siyue gets his gift, he gets happy. Just then, Lu Fi comes to him because there is some problem with her laptop, so Siyue starts fixing her laptop. In the meantime, she takes out a chocolate from the chocolate box and eats it, which makes Siyue very angry. And he tells her, "Someone gave this to me, and now you pick up your laptop and get out of here." Seeing this, Lu Fi says to him, "You are very bad, and this was just a chocolate, so why are you getting so angry about it?" So she picks up her laptop and that chocolate box both, and says, "I will get you a new chocolate box." Siyue tries hard to stop her, but she takes the chocolate box and leaves. After this, when Lu Fi goes to the comic club, Ding Xian sees the chocolate box with her and asks, "Where did you get this?" So she lies, "Siyue gave this to me." Seeing which, she feels very bad, and gets upset and goes to Siyue and asks him, "Why did you give that chocolate to Lu Fi?" So he says that she herself took that chocolate box, but Ding Xian says, "Don't make excuses, and I also know that you told the professor that I am not capable of working in the research group. Why are you doing this? And if you don't want me to be with you, you could have said this to me yourself." But Siyue says, "I had already explained to you that you should do what you are interested in. Don't sacrifice for me." So Ding Xian says, "What do you mean I shouldn't make any sacrifice for you? Don't you love me at all? And the 3 years we spent together mean nothing to you?" Siyue doesn't give her any answer to these questions, so she leaves from there crying. Just then, Songzi also comes here, who overhears their conversation. And then he asks Siyue, "Why don't you tell her that you also love her?" So he says, "No, I can't say, because I know that only when she goes away from me will she be able to live her life well." On the other side, we see Subo, who is in his company and has also become successful at this time. After this, as soon as he sees Ding Xian's photos on the internet, he gets a little worried and cancels his meeting and goes somewhere. In the meantime, we see Ding Xian, who is waiting for her bus at the bus stop at night. Just then, Subo comes there and gives her a lift. After this, in the car, Ding Xian asks him, "You have become very busy with your work, haven't you? You probably don't even have time for your girlfriend." So he says, "Oh no man, I still don't have a girlfriend." In the next scene, Siyue gets a call from Shadi, and she says, "I am standing outside your university, so tell me the truth. Is Songzi with you?" But Siyue lies to her, "He is not with me." And then Shadi calls him to meet, and when she meets Siyue, she says to him, "Please tell me where Songzi is because it can't be that he didn't tell you where he is." But Siyue still tries to act ignorant. So Shadi says, "I went to his university and found out from there that he has been expelled from the university." So Siyue says he was not expelled but suspended for 1 year. Hearing which, she understands that he knows where Songzi is, so she says to him, "How can you do this to me? I have always considered you as my brother. Songzi has broken up with me and suddenly disappeared without explaining anything. You tell me, if Ding Xian ever disappeared like this without explaining to you, how would you feel?" Saying this, she leaves from there. The next day, Ding Xian meets Shadi, who is staying in a hotel, and then they both start sharing their sorrows with each other. In the next scene, Ding Xian has started ignoring Siyue, so Siyue also notices her and gets a little sad. In the next scene, Subo comes to the university and invites all the members of the animation club to dinner, where Siyue and Ding Xian have also come. At dinner, Lu Fi praises Subo a lot and finds out that all these people already know each other. After this, during dinner, Ding Xian eats the dish given by Subo, which she doesn't even like much. Seeing this, Siyue feels very bad. In the meantime, Lu Fie, seeing Ding Xian and Subo, says, "You two have known each other since childhood," and looking at Subo, it seems that he likes Ding Xian. So Subo says, "Yes, I like her." Hearing this, Siyue gets very jealous and goes out making an excuse of going to the washroom. After this, Subo also goes out after him, where they both start talking to each other. So Subo says, "Me and Ding Xian have known each other since childhood, and I had promised her parents that I would take care of her, so it would be better if you stay away from her now." So Siyue says, "I don't care about what relationship you two had, but Ding Xian will now spend her life only with me." Saying this, he starts to leave when he sees Ding Xian there, who has heard their conversation, and then she starts to leave. So Siyue also follows her and apologizes to her. So she says, "I could never even imagine that you would apologize to me." After this, Siyue tells her, "I have been thinking about this since that day. How will I live my life without you?" Hearing which, Ding Xian gets very angry and says, "What do you want, that I should always follow you and you show no interest in me at all? But now enough is enough. I'm tired of chasing you, so I'm ending everything right here." Saying this, she gets upset and leaves from here. After this, when she goes to her hostel, she finds a gift in her desk, which Subo had given. So she calls him and refuses to take it, but when Subo requests again and again, she is unable to refuse him. In the next scene, Shadi is shopping in a store where she suddenly sees Songzi, and Songzi, seeing her, starts running away from there. So she also follows him and calls Dingxian and tells her everything. After this, they both follow him and reach Siyue's room and catch Songzi. After this, Shadi starts beating him and says, "How could you do this to me? You promised me that you would take full care of me even in a long-distance relationship and would come to meet me once a month, but what little trouble happened in your life? You are hiding from me like this." Saying this, she gets angry and leaves from there. On the other side, Dingxian is getting angry at Siyue. "Why did you hide Songzi's matter from me?" So he tells her that actually Songzi himself had forbidden him to tell. And over there, after Shadi leaves, Songzi realizes what a big mistake he has made. So he goes out and asks Siyue and Dingxian where Shadi has gone. They are both busy in their own conversation, so they had not paid attention to this. Now all of them get worried and start looking for Shadi everywhere. Just then, they see that there has been an accident nearby. Seeing this, Songzi's condition worsens. Just then, Shadi also comes there, and as soon as Songzi sees her, he hugs her and apologizes. Now, seeing these two together again, Siyue and Dingxian get very happy. In the next scene, Siyue goes to the hospital to meet his dad, where he gets very happy seeing his mom and dad both taking care of each other. After this, his dad explains to him, "I know that you like Dingxian, and Dingxian has also worked so hard to come to the university just for you. So now, it is also your duty not to let her get away from you, because if someone cares for us and we take them for granted, that person goes away from us forever. So you should not delay at all and tell her your feelings." After hearing his dad's words, Siyue decides that he will now confess his feelings to Dingxian. The next day, everyone goes for a camp where Subo also goes with them. After this, Siyue drops Dingxian to her hotel room and says to her, "Please give me a chance to say my piece." After this, he tells her, "When you and Subo were talking that day, I overheard your conversation, which made me very sad that you are struggling so much because of me. So I thought that if I go away from your life, maybe you will do what you like in your life." After that, he says, "I am not the same as before because my family's condition is not good at all now, and then when I saw you at Hawking University after such a long gap, I couldn't stop myself from thinking about you." So Dingxian says, "You thought that Uncle being sick would affect me, but I don't care about all this. I was only following you because I like you, but do you even know the real meaning of love?" But just then, Luffy comes there, so Dingxian goes to her room, and then Luffy asks Siyue, "What were you two talking about? Do you really like Dingxian?" So he says, "Yes, I like her." Saying this, he goes to his room, and Luffy gets sad because she also likes Siyue. The next day, seeing an opportunity, Siyue calls Dingxian out on a pretext, where Dingxian, upon seeing him, understands that he must have called me here. After that, Siyue says to her, "I am not telling you to forget my mistakes and become normal as before, but please listen to me and just be with me as before for 2 days. After that, whatever decision you make will be acceptable to me." So Dingxian also agrees to this. After this, they both have a lot of fun, and Siyue wears a cute costume for her and brings a lot of balloons, but just then, a lot of children come there who take all his balloons, and he is left with only one balloon, which he goes and gives to Dingxian and says, "Sorry to her, please forgive me and give me a chance." Seeing this, Dingxian gets very emotional, and they both are talking to each other when it starts raining there, and they both quickly go and hide. After this, Siyue brings hot coffee for her, so Dingxian gets sad thinking about the old memories with him. After this, she asks, "That day when the fireworks were happening, did you do all that?" So he tells her, "Yes, I came to meet you that day to give you a surprise, but at that very time I got the news of my dad being sick, so I had to leave from there quickly." Hearing this, Dingxian is looking at him lovingly, so Siyue kisses her, and then Dingxian runs to her hostel room without saying anything. The next day, Siyue calls her and says, "Today is the day of my robot competition, so I want you to come and meet me there so that I can give the exam well," to which Dingxian also agrees. But the next day, a lot of time passes, and Dingxian does not come there, so Siyue goes inside for the competition, and when he comes back, he still doesn't see Dingxian there. So he calls her, but her phone is not reachable, so he gets very scared and starts looking for her everywhere like a madman. Just then, a girl tells him that Luffy has locked Dingxian in the washroom out of jealousy, so he immediately goes there and takes her out and sees that Dingxian is very scared, so he takes her to the robot competition hall and shows her the animated version of her own written comic, Little Monster. seeing which Dingxian gets very emotional because Siyue has created an animated version of the love story related to her and Siyue that she had written in her blog. After this, Siyue says to her, "You once told me, didn't you, that I don't know the meaning of true love, but I am telling the truth, now I know the answer to it." Then he starts telling her, "My true love seems very ordinary in appearance, but every day I see her becoming more beautiful. She's very stubborn, but also the cutest. I know she's lying to me, but still, I don't want to make her bad acting even worse." Hearing this, Dingxian asks him, "Who are you talking about?" Then Siyue, holding her hand, says, "I love you" to her and asks her, "Will you be my girlfriend?" Dingxian doesn't give him any answer to this, and just then a guard comes there who tells them both to go out. And then after going out, Siyue says to her, "You didn't give me any answer to my proposal." So she says, "I don't want to be in any relationship right now." Hearing which, Siyue understands that she is just acting and she still loves him, so he says, "No problem, I will wait for you." After this, Subo comes there, who tells her that a director has liked your little monster script very much, so he wants to give your talent a chance. Hearing this, Dingxian gets very happy. After this, Subo says, "You have a meeting with them tomorrow. So tomorrow you go shopping with me and dress up well for the meeting." So Siyue says, "What's the problem with this dress?" So Dingxian, seeing these two fighting, says, "No problem, I will dress up well tomorrow." Saying this, she leaves from there, and after she leaves, Subo says to Siyue, "I told you, didn't I, to stay away from Dingxian?" So Siyue also says, "I also told you the same thing, that I will not stay away from her." Saying this, he leaves from there. The next day, when Dingxian goes shopping with Subo, Siyue also comes there, and they again start talking to each other about Dingxian. So Dingxian says, "You guys stay here, I'll go get juice." To which Siyue and Subo both say, "No, no, you stay here. We'll bring the juice." After this, they both order juice for her, as she likes. Then they both go and hand her their respective glasses, but Siyue starts drinking the juice brought by Subo himself, and Subo gets very angry. After this, Subo says to Dingxian, "I will take you to dinner today." So Siyue says, "Okay, I will also come." So Subo says, "Okay, you come too and call your friends too. But there is one condition, you will have to pay the bill," to which Siyue also agrees. After this, when Dingxian reaches her hostel, she tells her roommate, "Subo and Siyue fight with each other just like children, and Siyue has also proposed to me, which I was about to say yes to, but now I will not say yes to him so soon, because if I did that, all the control in the future would go to him." In the next scene, Siyue invites all his friends to dinner, and there all these people have dinner and also play games and have a lot of fun. After this, when Siyue is paying the bill, Subo comes there and, insulting him, says, "You stay away from Dingxian because if she stays with me, she will be happy because I am rich, and I will not let her lack anything, but if she stays with you, she will have to crave for everything." To which Siyue says, "Dingxian will decide all this, not you." The next day, Siyue gets the first prize for the robot competition. After this, he goes to meet Dingxian because she has gone with Subo to meet the director, where we see that Subo has brought a lovely necklace for her, seeing which Dingxian refuses to take it because it is very expensive, but he insists again and again, so she wears it. Then Subo introduces her to the director, where he says, "I liked your comic little monster a lot, and I want us to present it as a romance story and also add a monster character to it." But Dingxian doesn't like his idea, so she makes an excuse of going to the washroom and starts to leave. To stop her, Subo comes to her and says, "In this field, people think about maximizing profit, so you also have to work according to them." And he also says that whenever an artist's work is used, some changes are made to it. Dingxian agrees to his words and goes to the director again, where the director says, "Once the contract is signed, we can make Dingxian's comic up to 200 episodes, and we can also convert it into a game." Hearing this, Dingxian doesn't feel good at all, so she refuses to sign the contract. So the director says, "You shouldn't miss such a good opportunity." Just then, Siyue comes there, who tells the director, "It is written on the contract that this contract should be with the consent of both parties, so if Dingxian doesn't want to sign, you people should not force her." And when Siyue is saying all this, Dingxian is looking at him very lovingly. After this, Siyue takes her out from there. Just then, Subo comes there and says to Dingxian, "How can you miss this opportunity? Don't you want people to know you and you to live a good life?" So Dingxian says, "I just want to do what I like." And then she says this to Subo and returns the necklace to him. "You have changed a lot. Who is only thinking about profit?" After this, she leaves from there with Siyue, where on the way, Siyue promises her, "I will never hurt you again because after going away from you, I realized how important you are in my life." So Dingxian also asks him to promise, "You will never push me away from yourself." So he says, "I promise you that we will always be together." Now because Dingxian has accepted his proposal, they both happily hug each other. The next day, Siyue and Dingxian are going together to the campus by bus, where Luffy gets very jealous seeing them both together. And after reaching the campus, Luffy says to him, "Will you go to dinner with me tonight?" So Siwei angrily tells her to stay away from him and shows her the video of that night when she had locked Dingxian in the washroom. So he says, "I will not forgive you for this." Saying this, he leaves from there. On the other side, Subo's boss goes to him and gives him a new project, and as soon as he opens the file, it contains Siwei's photographs. And then we see Siwei, who is sitting in the lab and messaging Ding Xian. Just then, the professor also comes there, who tells him, "A very big company is interested in your robot, so they want to work with us." So Siwei refuses, to which Dongjung says to him, "Why do you want to miss such a good opportunity?" So he says, "Because such a big company has decided to work with us. I feel that they want to buy the patent of our robot through this proposal, and they will not give us any credit for our years of hard work." In the next scene, Subo calls Siwei to meet, where he says to him, "I want you to hack the information of the working company for us." This is the reason why Subo's senior had given him the profile, because they wanted Siwei to do this work. But Siwei refuses him and starts to leave. Just then, Siwei stops him and says, "Look at this file and then tell me your decision." Actually, that file contains the information of the person who had framed Siwei's dad for the paper leak. And if Siwei does this work for Subo, he will give him all the information so that he can prove his father innocent. In the next scene, we see Siwei with his parents in the hospital, where he says sorry to his dad. So they say, "Why are you saying sorry to me?" And at the same time they say, "You can do whatever you want in your life, but remember that whatever you do, you should never regret it." On the other side, we see Siwei, who is being scolded by his boss because he could not convince Siwei for this work. In the next scene, Dingxian gifts Siwei a pair of shoes, which Siwei likes very much. After this, Dingxian has gone out for some work, where she finds Subo in a very drunken state. So, seeing his condition, she goes to drop him home. After this, Subo, being drunk, falls on top of Dingxian, and when she tries to move him, he doesn't move and says, "If I wasn't drunk, I would never have been able to say this to you, that I like you." So Dingxian says, "I am already in a relationship," and she gets very scared, so tears start falling from her eyes. Seeing her like this, Subo tells her to go back home, and because he has now found out that Siwei and Dingxian are both in a relationship, he gets very upset. Meanwhile, Dingxian goes to Siwei's room crying and hugs him and starts crying. And when he asks her, she doesn't tell him about it and says, "I am missing my mom." So Siwei says to her, "Our vacations are going to start very soon, so we will both go to your house together." After this, when the vacations start, they both go to Dingxian's house, where Dingxian's parents are very happy to see them both. After this, when they all sit down for dinner, Dingxian's mother tells Siwei to take care of her in college. And after this, she says to Dingxian, "You got admission in Huaqing University after so much hard work, and if I find out that you have fallen into the trap of dating and all that there, I will teach you a good lesson." So Dingxian says, "Now I am grown up, so I can do dating and all that," but her mom refuses. After this, when they are both washing dishes together, Siwei says, "We should tell your mom about our relationship." Just then, they hear shouting from outside. When they both go, Dingxian's mom is scolding her brother because there is a number in his mobile named Sweetheart, so she looks for something here and there to hit him. So Dingxian's brother, calling Siwei brother-in-law, starts hiding behind him. Impressed by this, Siwei saves him from his mom in some way or the other. After this, Dingxian and Siwei are cleaning the room because Siwei now has to stay in this room for a few days and they both come very close. Just then, Dingxian's mom comes there, seeing whom they both get scared. And after this, her mom says to her dad, "There is definitely something going on between Dingxian and Siwei." So her dad says, "There is nothing like that, you are thinking too much." But her mom calls her brother to find out about these two. Then he makes a condition, "If you give me my phone back, then I will tell you everything." And as soon as his mom gives him his phone back, he says that they are both dating, which shocks his mom. The next morning, when Siwei and Dingxian come for breakfast, Siwei becomes very awkward seeing Dingxian's mom in anger, and Dingxian is also not saying anything. At that very moment, her brother comes there, who calls Siwei brother-in-law, hearing which Siwei glares at him. So he says, "Oh, don't be scared. Mom already knows everything about this." After this, her mom asks these two, "Why did you both hide this from me?" So Dingxian says, "Because you yourself forbade me from dating. So out of fear, I didn't tell you anything." Then her mom says, "If you had told me that you are dating Siwei, I would have helped you myself." Hearing which, they both get very happy. After this, their vacation is about to end. So they go and meet all their hometown friends, where all these people have a lot of fun. Now, after finishing the holidays, when Dingxian goes back to the university, she remembers the words of Sha Di and KK, who were telling her, Siyue doesn't have any romance with you at all, man. He just treats you like a little kid. So she comes to Siyue and says, now we are a couple, so shouldn't you do something? So she closes her eyes and goes to him to hug him, but he brings coffee for her. Seeing which, Dingxian gets a little upset, thinking he really treats her like a child. After this, when she is in her room, Siyue calls her to meet, so she gets happy. But when she goes, she finds out that Siyue has called her there to study. Seeing this, she gets upset again. After that, Dingxian makes an excuse and says to him, I have to find a book, so will you help me? And after this, when they are both looking for a book, Dingxian repeatedly tries to get close to him and is about to kiss him, but Siyue puts the book in her hand and leaves from there. After this incident, she is very upset. After this, when she tells her roommate about this, her roommate suggests to her, now you should change your dressing style a bit. So, the next day, Dingxian gets ready very well and starts looking for Siyue, where she sees him talking to a girl. Seeing which, she gets very jealous and goes to Siyue and, holding his hand, says, hi sweetheart, did you miss me? Seeing which, that girl leaves from there. So Siyue tells her, she is our teacher, and why have you dressed up like this today? It's very cold. So from tomorrow, wear pants. So Dingxian again gets angry and starts to leave, so he stops her and asks, did I do something wrong again? So Dingxian says, you still treat me just like a child, as if we were in high school, but now our relationship has changed, and I want to spend most of my time with you. So don't treat me like a child, treat me as a couple. Hearing which, Siyue hugs her and says, I'm sorry, I couldn't understand your feelings, but from now on, this will not happen at all. After this, they both go for a stroll where they both behave like a lovey-dovey couple. After this, at night, when Dingxian is going to her room, her hostel is closed due to being very late, so she stays at Siyue's house. After this, both are sleeping separately and neither of them is able to sleep. So Dingxian says to Siyue, I can't sleep, so can you come and sleep next to me? Hearing which, Siyue gets very nervous, but still he goes and lies down next to her. And when Dingxian holds his hand, she asks him, why is your heartbeat so fast? But Siyue doesn't give her any answer. So Dingxian puts her hand on his heart and starts patting it. And after this, they both sleep very well. The next day, when Dingxian goes to her hostel, she finds out that Siyue is accused of leaking the robot company's details. Hearing this, she immediately goes to meet him. While going there, she sees Dongjung with someone, so she understands everything that he must have done something wrong. After this, when she goes to Siyue, Siyue gets very emotional seeing her and says, your mom had given me the responsibility of taking care of you, but here I am, not even able to take care of myself. So Dingxian says, are you crazy? I love you, so I will support you in every problem, so please don't think like that. After this, they both sit together and start trying to find out who did all this. Just then, Dingxian says, I suspect Dongjung for this because today he was secretly talking to someone. Hearing this, Siyue kisses her on the forehead, and when Dingxian asks, what was that? So he says, you are thinking exactly like me because I am also 100% sure that Dongjung has done all this. After this, Siyue makes a plan, and he first hacks Dongjung's laptop. So, when Dongjung goes to the lab to check who is hacking my laptop, he sees that Siyue is sitting in front of him. So he understands everything, that now I am caught and cannot escape anywhere. After this, Siyue asks him, why did you do all this? So he says, you know everything. Don't pretend to be ignorant. Since I came to this college, until today, the professor only considers you intelligent, whereas I have also helped a lot in making the robot with you. And not only that, the professor is now also going to send you abroad. I have done so much for this university, but no one considers me anything. So Siyue says to him, you are mistaken. The professor considers you as intelligent as he considers me because he had made 2 quotas for going abroad, one for you and one for me, so please don't think like that because the professor has always considered you and me equal. There was no competition between us. We both used to work together. Hearing this, Dongjung realizes his mistake, so he says sorry to him and says, whatever I have done wrong, I will fix it myself. The next day, we see Subo, who goes to a cafe to meet Dingxian. Here, Dingxian forgives him and reminds him of many things from their childhood. So he says, but now a lot has changed. So Dingxian says, you are not a bad person. If you want, everything can be as before, because I know that you realize your mistake. After this, Subo smiles and takes out a file and gives it to her and says, give this to Siyue. It has information about his father's innocence, so it will help him a lot. And after this, they both talk a lot and become very good friends again. On the other side, Siyue's dad's health has now improved, so he has also been discharged from the hospital, which makes him very happy. So now he brings his family back to his old house. After this, they both are sitting and talking in Siyue's house, but just then their parents come here. And when they remove the box to put the things, they see these two and say, what are you two doing here? so Siyue shyly starts making excuses. I sprained my ankle while lifting things, so Dingxian was helping me. After this, both their moms look at each other and start laughing. The next day, Songzi and Siyue make a bet on who will propose to his girlfriend for marriage first. The next day, Siyue takes Dingxian to a nice place and, taking a ring out of his pocket, proposes to her, saying, "We have been engaged once in childhood, but still, I ask you, will you get engaged to me again?" Seeing this, Dingxian gets very emotional. So Siyue says, "This ring is not that good, but I promise that one day I will definitely get you a better ring than this, because I want you to be a part of every moment of my life." Saying this, he puts the ring on her finger. On the other side, we see their two moms talking, where Dingxian's mom directly tells Siyue's mom that our children are both dating each other, which she is also very happy to hear, because now these two are going to become in-laws. In the next scene, Dingxian is angry with Siyue, so he asks, "What's the matter? Why are you angry with me?" So she says, "The professor told me everything, that you don't want to go abroad to study." Hearing this, Siyue says, "Yes, that's true, because I want to spend more and more time with you." So she says, "You have worked so hard to go there, so now why are you letting this opportunity go? And if we break up after a few years, you will regret that you let such a good opportunity go because of Dingxian." So Siyue says, "Don't even think about breaking up, because I am not going to let you go anywhere." So she says, "I am saying all this for your own good. Otherwise, I am not going to leave you and go anywhere either. So please listen to me and go abroad and study well." So Siyue also agrees with her. After this, we see Songzi and Jiang Chen in Siyue's house, where these three are very happy to see each other. And now, after drinking a lot, Siyue and Dingxian go out to drop them off. Just then, Songzi gets emotional and says, "Do message me when you go abroad." And saying this, he gets very emotional, and then after they leave, Siyue also gets very emotional and says to Dingxian, "I don't want to go abroad." So she says, "You can't do that because you have promised me." After this, the next day, Dingxian drops him off at the airport. Now, after Siyue leaves, their long-distance relationship begins, so they both talk to each other every day on video call, and they both celebrate their birthdays on video call as well. Now, time passes like this, and Dingxian's graduation is also complete, where she gives a very good speech, and everyone goes to the ground to take photos. After this, when Dingxian is making a video, she sees Siyue there while moving the camera, seeing whom she gets very happy and emotional. After this, Siyue goes to her and congratulates her for graduating, and kisses her. After which, we see them both at Siyue's house, where Siyue, under the pretext of finding his passport, asks her to take out a box. And when she opens that box, it contains all the things that she had ever gifted to Siyue. Seeing this, she gets very happy and asks him, "You have kept all this safe until now?" Then she opens a last box, inside which a ring is kept, seeing which she gets very emotional. So Siyue tells her, "If you were not in my life, I would never have become the person that I am today." Hearing this, Dingxian gets emotional. After this, Siyue proposes to her for marriage. So she quickly takes out the ring and wears it on her hand and then says, "I already had a ring, so why did you get me this one?" So Siyue says, "I had promised you that I would get you a good ring." After this, he says, "You haven't answered me yet." So Dingxian says, "I wore the ring myself, so you should understand what it means." So he says, "I want to hear the answer from your mouth." So Dingxian tells him, "Yes, I want to marry you." After this, they both kiss each other. In the next scene, we see Subo and Siyue together, who are both playing basketball with each other, where Siyue says to him, "Thank you, you have taken so much care of Dingxian since childhood, but now you don't need to take care of her because now I am with her." Saying this, he starts to leave. So Subo says to him, "Take care of Dingxian." Hearing this, Siyue looks at him and smiles. After this, we also see Subo smiling because now he is happy that Dingxian will be happy with Siyue. After this, Siyue gives a speech in front of everyone, where he also mentions Dingxian. "If she was not in my life, I would not be here today." Hearing which, everyone starts clapping. After this, he takes Dingxian to their old school classroom, where their old memories are refreshed again. In the next scene, Dingxian and Siyue are getting married, where everyone is getting their photos clicked. Just then, Songzi also proposes to Shadi for marriage. Seeing this, she gets very happy and says yes to him for marriage, and all the other people also get happy. After this, when it is Dingxian and Siyue's first night, they both enjoy a lot watching their old videos and photos. And with this, the drama has a